What's up, y'all? I am Marcus, and this is From the Dark. Today we're going to be rocking our Lingering Dragon Ricard. Our Lingering Dragon Ricard build. This is, I'm using magic weapon with Ricard's Rapier. I've talked about it in the past that each individual hit does the full amount of your weapon buff's damage. So if you use a weapon like Ricard's Rapier that can hit many times rapidly, you can get a lot of benefit out of it. You might actually be wondering why and how I have 10 magic weapons. A lot of people don't realize this, but if you attune the same magic twice, it stacks, so you can increase your uses. One thing I want to apologize about as we go ahead and get started here today is, first of all, this is live commentary, not necessarily apologizing for that. I realize some people prefer it. Some people prefer post, some people like live better. But, I was, my little girl's had a little cold, and, I've been taking care of her, and yeah. Kinda got a little bit of a scratchy throat myself. We're gonna power through it, though. A little bit of a cold never gonna stop the chosen undead. Although, having said that, I was actually thinking about this. It's really kind of a fascinating point to me that I never really think too much about, but we know that the chosen undead, or not the chosen undead, but just undead in general, they don't stay dead, but they do die. And beyond that, they can be injured. Like, that's what our HP is all about. And on top of that, we know that they can be sick, because you can get poisoned or you can get toxic, right? And if you ever just kind of, like, life has got to be tough as an undead that's going hollow. I mean, there's the lack of eyeballs there is one major problem, but looking at skin, kind of the holes and open sores and wounds, you know, that's gonna get infected, man. And you know, this is kind of a, it's got to be painful. That's I guess kind of is the point that I'm trying to make, is that being undead and being that hollow is, it isn't easy. Like, it's easy for us because we're just playing the game and our character's superhuman and we're really badass, we can do all kinds of stuff, but if you think about it conceptually in terms of the story, like, your journey is definitely a very painful one. Like, yeah, I don't know. Whenever it's easy to take for granted, like, oh, you're a zombie, oh, you're undead. Like, it's easy to just kind of take that for granted, but if you ever, like, think about kind of the ramifications of what that actually means for your character, ooh, boy. Alright, we can enter the cathedral there. I wonder if we can see. Down below, let's see, and down there. I'm just looking, man. You guys know me. I like to peer about. I'm looking for the entrance to the Darkmoon tomb. There it is. It's fascinating, this too, that I've always thought that the Darkmoon tomb was actually directly below this. Like, that's just kind of been my, I'm calling this kind of Gwynevere's cathedral. I don't have any evidence that it's a cathedral, just always appeared to be to me. But this really makes sense that the Darkmoon tomb would be down there, because it is directly below Lord Gwyn's old keep. So it makes sense that the royal family would be interred down below. I just never have confirmed the location before. go ahead and pay it a little visit. Whee! So this is the entrance to the Darkmoon tomb. We are directly below Gwyn's keep at this point, and what I was calling Gwynevere's cathedral's over there. And over there, that's nothing. That's really nothing. Weakness tears. This is actually such a super important area, now that I think about it. Like, this is actually the first point in the game where you, other than the opening cinematic, obviously, where you actually can get a look at Great Lord Gwyn. And we get the Ring of the Sun's Firstborn. Wonder if this body actually was intended to represent the Ring of the Sun's Firstborn. It would make sense. Died here in vigil over his father's tomb. But perhaps not. I've also, all of these knights, it's maybe just not just decorations of knights, but this could actually be some of Gwyn's loyal knights that followed him into battle and fell, whether against the Chaos Demons, or this might, this could actually have been constructed after Lord Gwyn sacrificed himself to link the First Flame, now that I think about it, and that this statue was put in his honor. And these representing the Silver Knights who accompanied him and were then burned. Burned when he linked the flame and became Black Knights. Aimless, wandering spirits that wander the land of Lordran. Very interesting. Need ring. Need ring. That sword, you may actually recognize the model from the last episode. Near Artorius' grave, there's a couple of moss and ivy covered blades that appear to use this model, but I don't think there's any particular significance to it. I think it's just, limited art assets, and they're reusing things a little bit. That's my opinion. Obviously, you can argue that it is significant, and I won't fight you too much on it. His arms and armaments represented in gold there. Alright, we will be able to come back here later and do some more fancy stuff, but right now we ain't got what it takes, bro. We just ain't got what it takes, man. Just a convenient bonfire. On the other hand, this ring of the Sun's Firstborn boosts miracles. Lord Gwyn's Firstborn, who inherited the sunlight, once wore this ancient ring, boosts the strength of miracles. Lord Gwyn's Firstborn was a god of war, but his foolishness led to a loss of the annals and rescinding of his deific status. Today, even his name is not known. I've always focused on the point that the Firstborn was a god of war, and he made a mistake. His foolishness led to the loss of the annals, and then his deific status was rescinded. And that we've lost his name, and then the debate over whether or not it's Solaire or whatever. Like, that's always been the part of this that I actually focused on, but Lord Gwyn's Firstborn, who inherited the sunlight, this is actually telling us he inherited the sunlight. Like, he actually did inherit something. Was it a fragment of Lord Gwyn's soul? That doesn't really make sense, though, because Gwyn split his soul amongst others, as far as we know. This is something definitely to investigate as we continue. Another kind of interesting point that I want to just briefly mention here. His foolishness led to the loss of the annals, like the records. The records of the gods here. Where would those be kept? Perhaps the archives? The Duke's archives? Maybe his foolishness, maybe he was trusting Seath, and that led to bad times? I don't know. It's... The story of Gwyn's firstborn is, as always, just fascinating as hell. Now, one of the things today, we've got this Ricard's rapier, right? And we've got magic weapon. We've got 10 magic weapons, but on top of that, I've got this lingering dragon crest ring that extends the duration of sorcery effects. So really, there's no reason for us to ever not have magic weapon on this rapier. Like, we're good to go, man. We can just keep it up. Between lingering and having 10 uses of it, there's no reason not to. That was weird. Controller wanting to freak out on me. Oh, man, we got it right away. Holy shit, that's cool. We'll check that out in just a second. The last hit actually retracts. These guys don't know what to do about all that, do they? Throwing knives. The chandelier that we dropped from above. Come on, then. That was an offhand attack from him. He wants to heal. Huh. Managed to go just underneath that throwing knife as it came into range. How about that shit? Keep rolling, son. You ain't gonna get away. Card's Rapier's actually really good against these guys. I don't think I've ever actually used this weapon against these particular enemies. Nice. I've been calling this Gwynevere's cathedral, or her chapel. This is obviously, like I said, we dropped that chandelier down. This is the area that we were in before. It has the statue of Gwynevere up above, and some people pointed out that they feel like she's actually looking over the painting of the painted world. This is kind of significant because a lot of people, it's kind of popular fan speculation that Gwynevere is in fact Priscilla's mother. And we can examine that when we get a little bit closer, but yeah, a lot of people were pointing out in the comments last time that it looks like she's actually looking over her child, her daughter there. Or we can just do this. You can dance all day. I can dance all day. And you. Oops. I was gonna be fancy, but... Oh, shit. Well, fuck fancy. There we go. Here we have... Despair. This corpse... The black iron helm, black iron armor, black iron gauntlets, black iron leggings, great sword, and a black iron shield. Make no mistake, this was black iron Tarkus. Like, that's... It seems as though Black Iron Tarkus defeated the Iron Golem at Sin's Fortress and then fell, literally, to gravity here in Anor Londo when crossing the rafters high above. Maybe he was ambushed by painting guardians and backstabbed off and died in that way. We just picked up a bunch of stuff. Let's see. First of all, we got Painting Guardian Sword. Curved sword of Anor Londo painting guards. Unique shape with flat tip. Just the tip. The guardians, who strike down those who dare threaten the paintings, attack in a continuous circular dancing motion, a technique passed down through generations. So this has been passed down for years, and those who threaten the paintings, there's really just the one, but anyway, yeah. We got another great sword. We know that it's a favorite of Black Iron Tarkus. We also got the Black Iron Great Shield. Another really heavy shield. Great Shield of the Mighty Knight Tarkus. Built of special black iron and even heavier than Knight Berenique's Tower Shield. Especially resistant to fire attacks and effective for shield bashing. I've talked before about how I don't think there's just one Knight Berenique. So I would say it's heavier than the shields of the Knights Berenique. But we'll look at the Japanese at the end of the playthrough. Very effective against fire. The stability, 100% physical reduction, and the fire damage reduction makes this a very, very effective shield against a couple of late game bosses. So it's pretty fascinating. Pretty fascinating to have. Fascinating to you guys. It's just good. Black iron armor. You can see the defense and the poise on this bad boy. It's also quite heavy. But armor of Black Iron Tarkus, a knight renowned, or no, not renowned, it just says known, a knight known for his great strength, built of a special black iron and providing strong defense, notably against fire, but so terribly heavy to be unwieldy to all but Tarkus himself. Really cool that this is black iron, whereas the giant sentinels use white iron, or marcasite. Marcus and Tarkus, connected. Even through the materials on their equipment. And here, sorcery, great magic weapon. Really actually works for this build that we're doing today as well. At Vinheim Magic School, only magic swordsmen on special orders are allowed to learn this spell, which grants powerful augmentation to various weapons. It's a more powerful version of magic weapon. So here we have a sorcerer from Vinheim Dragon School in Lordran in Anor Londo on special orders. Wonder if he was... I really wondered. I wonder if he was pursuing something within the painted world. First of all, it's a nice little piece of artwork in its own right. But this is a very special world created by Ariamis. We're not going to go here today. We're going to finish up the rest of Anor Londo today. But next time we'll be back. Painted world will be back. Man, we already picked up. I forgot there was so much cool stuff to pick up right here at Anor Londo's fucking doorstep. We hadn't even got into the good shit yet. Alright. Now we gotta go back up. We could go attune that great magic weapon and it would probably be very, very beneficial to us, but... get a chance to look out over the city a little bit. Oh, wrong way. Wrong way. You silly goose. See treasure up ahead. Treasure for everybody, but mostly for me. Let's see. I've always loved this view. I used it in some of the weapon showcase videos that I did a long time ago. This was, I think, curved swords. I actually showed some of them off here. And now we see these Batwing demons. This time, they're wielding weapons. They don't look so friendly, right? Need humanity. Curses ahead. Weakness eliminating one at a time. Dark ahead. Despair ahead. Try ranged battle. All that negativity, man. Alright, this weapon is not the best for use against these sentinels. Just because it's fairly easy to hit their shield or to go under. He's gonna back off and... Come on. No, 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 no. I only want to fight one of you at a time. Thank you. Come on, you can do it. That's a good boy. And because they have that gap in their hitbox between their legs there, it can be difficult to hit them with it. Of course, if he's just gonna let me strafe up and around him, then it's no big deal, I guess. Alright then. Come with it now, bow wow, chicka wow wow. Ooh. That was some good shit right there. We got that Ricard's combo off on him. It's the main door to the keep. I often just rush by these guys and skip these enemies altogether, so I don't normally look at this door. It's actually got a very unique texture to it, doesn't it? What sort of scene is being represented here? Are they gathered around a bonfire? Open. Locked by some contraption. Also heavy. I'm sorry. Oh, right. I have this equipped today. Looks like a man and a woman. I can't really get a good look at those above. And of course more knight statues. Of varying sizes, I'll point out. Like they have some, we saw tiny ones in the tomb. There are kind of some slightly more than normal sized ones here. And then there are also extremely large versions as well. Does not open from this side, and we see a nifty little treasure up there as well. Alright, alright, alright. By the way, the dragon shield, not the most effective for this area. I'm just using it because it looks cool with this armor set. But actually, a lot of these enemies, or specifically the Batwing demons, have lightning damage on their attacks. So rather than a shield that resists fire, a shield that resists lightning would be pretty useful. If you walk over here, you can get a look at that ambush. I suppose that's what they were wanting you to see there. Let's fight a couple of these guys and then we'll come back and... Fly backwards, you're gonna fly forwards. See, he actually put some damage through my shield. Oh shit. He actually put some damage through my shield there because he does do lightning damage. And this shield, while it does block 100% of physical damage, it only blocks 45% of lightning damage. So their lightning damage isn't super significant, but it can hit you. Hey, why don't you back up? I was trying to bully him off the edge. Yeah, there we went. There, we did it. We did it. We did it, Reddit. We did it, Reddit. I don't even know where that fucking meme got started. Oh, I assume Reddit, I guess, but... Get off. There. Great. Wonderful. You've unlocked the door. Just having a closer look. Knight statues. Not always anything particularly significant. It's just fun to see how it's constructed at some point. If we can glimpse, no. I was wondering if we could see that enemy over there. No, can't quite get a look at him from this vantage point. Although we can see the city wall. That's where we actually entered Anor Londo, way over there. We entered the city walls via the Batwing Demon. The Darkmoon Nidus guards that bonfire. Well, not there. This is actually the room that's got Ornstein's statue, and then this one is the room that has Smo's, and then beyond that, over there is where the Darkmoon Nidus' bonfire is. Very much directly across from the Darkmoon tomb, which is down below, right in there, actually. And then a bunch of buildings that don't actually do anything with the game. Alright, now, when we come around here, we get to see some people's favorite enemies. Silver Knight archers of Anor Londo. Great bow archers at that. Wonder if that was part of Hawkeye Goff's regiment of troops. I don't know. There are several ways to deal with those guys. Hope ahead, but you can't. They can actually. He can sneak shots in right around here and knock you off. So you have to be careful. Those guys have a thrown lightning spear. One of the easiest ways to actually handle them is to try to trick them into falling off. Ah, that almost sucked. He almost fell. There he went. And now, with one left, they can hit you here. That is their maximum range. He can't hit you if you stand here. Neither of these guys can hit you. If you stand right here, there's one there. There's one there. You can't get me. Shit, son, I know. I know your range. Now, if you remembered your... No! Poison arrows. I forgot poison arrow. No, I didn't really forget. This is a running joke on my channel, and this is actually the namesake of the Poison Arrow podcast. As I always say, don't forget your poison arrows whenever you go to Anor Londo. It's gonna give you an easy time. The thing about these guys You can snipe them from here with poison arrows. You can use a bow, like... You can just use it. It doesn't really matter which bow you use, honestly. You can fire up some arrows, and you have to kind of arc your shots a little bit higher. Little bit higher. That looked like it should have hit. Here we go. Bam! Nailed him. So, we are obviously out of the shot range of this bow. Oops. Oops. Hold on, let me do that again. We can see the shot range here is 50. This one's 65. This one's 38. It doesn't actually matter. It matters for the sense that we can't shoot arrows from here and do physical damage to them, but if you have poison arrows, you can still apply the poison effect even though you're not actually doing damage from here. So it works fairly well, honestly. You can just shoot a few arrows, wait for these guys, wait for one or both of these guys to die, and then go back, do it again, and then just kind of walk your merry ass up here. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it, you can use Hidden Body and Slumbering Dragon Crest Ring to sneak up so that one of them doesn't see you and maybe only one of them shooting at you. The other way is to just make sure and keep moving, haul ass. Try to time it right. Make sure and get your parry on. Pick up some Dragon Slayer arrows. We don't have to kill this guy, but this one's actually considerably more dangerous as well. Owing to the fact that he does not have... Oh, come on now. Get the parry. There we go. Owing to the fact that there's no rails on either side of this, where you're fighting him, and on top of that, you're doing it down this slope, which is a quite a severe slope, so even if you do manage to parry him, it can be difficult to riposte, as you just saw. Another thing, if you walk straight down this, sometimes you'll randomly take damage. It's just kind of a glitchy point in the game. Soul of a hero. It's just kind of a glitchy point. Let me see if I can actually trigger it. Hold on. The game thinks you're falling and gives you falling damage. Unless they fixed it. I don't think they fixed it. I think I just haven't triggered it. Just take my word for it that it can happen. It's not a lot of damage normally. Maybe I'm supposed to cross back and forth. I can't remember actually how to trigger it. But I'm sure a lot of people who've played a lot have noticed it happen to them in the past. Well, it ain't happening, but it does. It used to happen anyway. I think it probably still does, but cool stuff. That's the Anor Londo Silver Knight archers. A lot of people have lots of trouble with those guys, but can actually see in the windows here. Chandeliers. Really cool. What a wonderful view, man. Normally the places that give you the most stress are the ones that have the greatest views if you actually just stop and look around. We did it, Reddit! Happiness. Happiness. Alright. We did get those great arrows, didn't we? Dragon Slayer arrow. Giant dragon hunting arrows resembling iron spears, used by Hawkeye Goff, or Hawkeye Go, and we'll talk about that later, and his dragon slayers. They puncture human flesh easily. Dragon Slayer arrows can only be used with the Dragon Slayer great bow and vice versa. And his dragon slayers. Yeah, the official English name for that knight, Hawkeye, is Goff. But the original Japanese pronunciation is Go. His name does appear spelled out, and obviously Japanese, it's much easier to tell the actual phonetic, the actual pronunciation from the Japanese, and it's unambiguously Go. Say. And Smo, for that matter, is also small, so it's Smo. Just thought I'd let you guys know. But the official English translation, for God knows what reason, I guess, for God knows what reason, they went with Goff instead of Go for Hawkeye. Hey, buddy.
Oh, there you are. You've been quiet these days. Smooth summoning out there. Anytime you see my brilliantly shining signature, do not hesitate to call upon me. You've left me with quite an impression. I would relish a chance to assist you.
You would relish it, huh?
You really are fond of chatting with me, aren't you? If I didn't know better, I'd think you had feelings for me. Oh no, dear me, pretend you didn't hear that.
A lot of people actually take that line and interpret it that Solaire is gay. That line, actually, you get that whether you are a male character or a female character. This game is actually, it shouldn't be remarkable, because it should be most games this way, but this game is actually very remarkable in the sense that it treats male and female characters almost identical. A couple of characters do have alternate dialogues based off of whether you're male or female, but it's always kind of a lad or lass sort of thing. It's always flavor. It's nothing super significant, you know what I mean? And that's something that I've always just thought was really, really awesome about Dark Souls, is that man or woman, it don't make no damn difference. You are an undead outcast, perhaps the chosen undead, and they want you to link the damn flame already. Hey, Solaire.
You really are fond of chatting with me, aren't you? If I didn't know better, I'd think you had feelings for me. Oh no, dear me, pretend you didn't hear that.
That said, Solaire is definitely the type of bro that, you know, when he gives you a slap on the ass in the locker room after the game, it just feels a little awkward. Our son, bro. Praise the sun and whatnot. But don't drop your soapstone. These guys are the hardest ones to parry. By far, I always fuck it up. That's the fast one. When I say these guys, not Silver Knights in general. Silver Knights in general, I've practiced enough that parrying them is not super difficult, but parrying the spear versions of them specifically is a little bit harder. Sunlight Metal. Near Solaire, who also gives sunlight metals, and here in Anor Londo, this faintly warm metal engraved with the symbol of the sun is the ultimate honor awarded to those who summon the warrior of sunlight and complete a goal. The symbol represents Lord Gwyn's firstborn, who lost his deity status and was expunged from the annals, but the old god of war still watches closely over his warriors. Could not be a bigger fucking hint that he is the firstborn. Could not be a bigger hint. Now, whether it's done, whether it's being played straight or it's just a tease, I cannot say. But yeah, you're finding something. It's a treasure that represents the Lord's firstborn. Solaire gives you those when you summon him. It tells you that it's a treasure that you get for summoning him. Says that he watches over his warriors. He's right here, like. And I will say this too: if Solaire is the firstborn, there's a whole nother aspect to this whole thing that I never really thought about, because it says represents the Lord Gwyn's firstborn who lost his deity status and was expunged from the annals, which were supposedly lost, but anyway. But the old god of war still watches closely over his warriors. His warriors. If he is watching over his warriors, then the warriors of the firstborn are the undead. I mean, come on. And that's kind of significant, right? Like, what kind of mistake? Anyway, we got the Silver Knight shield. Shield of the Silver Knights of Anor Londo. A flowing canal is carved deep into its face. The Silver Knights stayed behind in Anor Londo to defend the illusory goddess, and their shields are blessed with her divine protection. This shield does not really indicate... it would seem to indicate that the Silver Knights knew that she was an illusory goddess, but it doesn't explicitly state it. Now, it's just always one of those fascinating points of the lore. It's got a really good stability too. It's actually a pretty good shield. Although, actually, it wasn't too... I thought it was going to be too heavy, but... How about that? Bam. Alright, we'll rock it like this for a little bit. Shit. Whether or not the Silver Knights know it's an illusion or not, it's kind of a fascinating point. Here we've got a storeroom. Nothing apparently of interest to us in these chests. Looks like just firewood. Or are those scrolls? Wait, those appear to be scrolls of some sort. Or bones, shit, I don't know what it's supposed to be. Looks like scrolls though, because they've got them on the desk here next to the... No? Bones? Shit, I don't know. Y'all's guess is as good as mine. Are these the annals? Hey, everybody, I found them. He just... he left his keys over there. Looks like a fireplace. Amazing armor ahead. This little secret cache of... Fascinating too that this room is dark like this. Everywhere else in Anor Londo is all bright and sunny, etc., etc. Not here. You guys know. You guys know the drill at this point. Let's see. Where is our... talismans? There we go. An occult club. We just did 900 damage in a little R2 chain there very, very quickly. Now, occult weapons are used against the gods, alright? This is another thing that people debate about in the lore, and for good reason. This is just a simple wooden club. There's nothing in the description that's going to tell you anything about it, really, but it's an occult club, which means that against the gods and their servants, it's more powerful. Why would there be a weapon to use against the gods here in Anor Londo, hidden away in a secret cache? It gets more kind of interesting when you find this right next to it, the Dragon Tooth. Created from an everlasting dragon tooth, legendary hammer of Havel the Rock. The dragon tooth will never break as it is harder than stone, and it grants its wielder resistance to magic and flame. If this is indeed unique to Havel the Rock, then we found his own personal little treasure trove, or where somebody hid his equipment. Crafted from an everlasting dragon tooth. If all his soldiers had it, then maybe it's less of a big deal, but Havel's great shield as well. Extremely strong shield. Great shield of the legendary Havel the Rock, cut straight from a great slab of stone. This great shield is imbued with the magic of Havel, provides strong defense, and is incredibly heavy. A true divine heirloom on par with the Dragon Tooth. And his helm and armor. And gauntlets and leggings. Havel's armor. Insanely good armor. Armor worn by Havel the Rock's warriors, carved from solid rock. Its tremendous weight is matched only by the defense it provides. Havel's warriors never flinched nor retreated from battle. Those unfortunate enough to face them were inevitably beaten to a pulp. Actually, I thought some of the equipment talked about... I thought some of the equipment actually talked about how the fact that it was so heavy that they couldn't run away. In any case, Havel, the secret treasures of Havel, or one of his rock warriors, depending on how you want to interpret it, along with an occult weapon hidden in a mimic, guarded by a mimic that could be opened easily only by someone who knows the trick of using one of Lloyd's talismans. Was Lloyd perhaps involved in something here? Was Havel rebelling against the gods? I've kind of speculated about that in the past. I think that Havel... There are hints that Havel there was some unrest involved that we'll find later in the game. I don't know if he was a rebel, but I know that his namesake is very fascinating. I'll put a link to the Wikipedia, the article, and I'm pretty sure that is where the name Havel comes from. But I want to discuss it all in full once we have all of his stuff and we can kind of look at all the evidence. Now, this is a fairly well-known little shortcut that saves a lot of time. Little hop over there. And now, this room full of, can't really call them dragon heads. Drake heads, more like. You can say you're a dragon slayer all you want, but that's just a baby, right? That's a wee baby. That ain't no real dragon. Although that guy up there, that's pretty impressive. All manner of Drake. Oh shit, I was too slow. Oh, great. Calculated. These guys, trust me, they're the ones that are hardest to parry. Those varying speed backhands that they do always fuck me up. Hey, bro. See? Oh well. Silver Knight. Armor. I almost said armaments. It's not, it's just their armor. Here we go. Armor of the Silver Knights who protect Anor Londo. When Lord Gwyn departed to link the fire, his knights split into two groups. The Silver Knights remained in the Forsaken capital in the service of their goddess. Once again, not clear if they knew she was an illusion or not. You see now we've unlocked this door from this side. I'll show the correct route. We took the shortcut when we went up the stairs like that, but I'll show the correct route to do it as well. Don't worry, I got you guys. I got you back. And Orlando's big. I might actually have to make another episode about this. We're not done yet. Not even close, really. This is just giving you a closer look at that Drake head, or dragon head, however you want to Look at that. Looks like a hall of trophies, huh? And through here. Hi. Whee! Another shield. Well, that's cool. That's cool, man. It's groovy. Another soul of a hero. And look at there. Titanite Demon in a little chapel. No less. I wonder if this was a chapel to the blacksmith deity or what. Seems like maybe he was an important part of the pantheon. Still more fun. Oh, I still have them. How about that? Poof. Gold coin. Notice we did a lot less damage that time when we were just using magic weapon as opposed to great magic weapon. Still got the kill though. Uh-oh. What? Symbol of avarice. Holy shit. That's awesome. You got it. We did it, Reddit. Sorry, I don't know why I'm saying that today. I don't know. Extremely heavy. And it drains your HP while you have it. But monster head resembling a treasure chest. Once an ancient god, it is said that it is the symbol of shame imposed on a long-lost clan, exiled for the sin of avarice. Wearing this slightly raises soul absorption and item discovery, but also affects its wearer with the curse of the branded. Oh man, I can't wait to use that. Except that I will. I will wait. Our last Lloyd's Talisman. Can't believe we got that drop. That was great. Silver coins. Ooh. Oh no, our buff ran out. I'm trying to remember where that kick is from. That was it from an animation, I think? Was it Tiger Mask? I can't remember. They mentioned it in the Design Works interview. I'll have to research it and re-recall where that's actually from. Wasn't feeling like shit. I would already done my proper research. Apologize. God damn that fast attack. That's my jam right there. That's the one that I like to parry. God, man, what a view. What a view, man. Not only can you see Onion Bro, but you can actually get a little sneak peek as to his plight. Right in there. Holy shit. Let's see. That is so fucking cool, man. That is so cool. Makes you just wish you could there was a talk command from here. It's like, hey bro. Don't worry, we got this. We gonna get this. I saw one of their weapons clipping through the wall here a minute ago. Yeah, well. This door, though, does not open from this side. Guess we're used to that at this point. Probably not Lord Gwyn. Makes you wonder who these paintings are actually of. And it's also fascinating, too, that this area is all made for both giants and normal-sized humans, right? Like, these doors are not super giant sized, right? Surely she wouldn't have a portrait of herself on the wall. Broken dishes. You would think it would have been swept up at some point. Everything's in disarray, all of the paintings are crooked. I mean, it's been abandoned, but still, there are still Silver Knights here as servants, right? Hi. Oh, you. Ha! I have an extremely stable shield, just like you! Bitch, please. Aw. Thought he was gonna do the thrust. Well, there's a lot more to Anor Londo. But we're in a little bit of a hurry. We've run long on this video. We'll finish up the rest of Anor Londo next time. But I do want to go say hi to a friend. By the way, this is the point where you jump down. That's where I took that leap off the stairs earlier and landed here. And then went down and unlocked the door down there. So that's how you do that. And right across here, that's actually where that Titanite Demon is at. We will be paying him a visit, although we already have his catch pole. And as we enter here, see out into the city. Well, like I said, we'll do all this next time. Right now, I've got bigger fish to fry. The whole point of that side trip that we took last time was so that we could make something cool here today. And our friend here is going to be able to do it for us. We'll speak with him more in the future, but for now, he can perform ascensions for us. He can use souls to actually upgrade our weapons into new ones. Now, you can see we can actually upgrade our bandit knife using the Soul of Sif to Greatsword of Artorius. You gotta be careful though, because there's actually 3 different versions of Artorius' weapon. One is the Abyss Greatsword, which Soul of Artorius, hint hint, we're gonna be dealing with him, but there are 2 versions that are made using the Soul of Sif. If we use the Bandit's Knife plus 10 to do that, we're gonna get 1 version. But if we use... What? Wait a minute. The fuck? Not armor. Weapon. Oh, I haven't done it all the way. If we use the broken straight sword, we'll get something else. We're gonna need some Titanites. I was sitting there like, wait a minute. Oh no, we're gonna need 3 more. Oh no. It's all good, we got the souls of heroes if we need them. He sells Twinkling Titanite. He did not always sell this. This was actually introduced in a patch. But all of that we'll talk about another time. Because for today... Now... 120 and 85 as opposed to 178 physical. So you can actually tell which version you're making. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you...
Come
I give to you. The true greatsword of Artorius. This was what I meant by a true Artorius build. It takes 24 strength, 18 dex, 20 int, and 20 faith to use this weapon. That's why my intelligence and faith went to 20 each. It has a split of physical and magical damage, the magical scaling from the int and the faith, I think, and then the physical damage scaling from the strength and the dex. Sword born from the soul of the great Grey Wolf Sif, guardian of the grave of the Abyss Walker Knight Artorius. Sir Artorius hunted the Dark Wraiths, and his sword strikes harder against Dark Servants. It's got 140 divine scaling here. Yes, sir. We're going to be using this quite a bit. Just due to the nature of our build.
Forge I can, strong I am.
But if we want to power it up, it's going to take Demon Titanite. I think it's worth it. Don't you guys think it's worth it? I think it's worth it. I need more souls. Fortunately, we have more souls. We need to remember to look at those coins next time, too.
Hello, Forge I can, strong I am.
Great character, this guy. He's actually really cool. You'll see what I mean later. We need 3 more Demon Titanite, and we'll be able to max it out. Special weapons max out at +5. So we're getting very close to maximum for this.
Coming soon.
Now this weapon is actually pretty underwhelming at low stat values, but as we continue to level up, it will become very, very powerful. For right now, it's 466, although it's split damage. Technically our strongest weapon, but once again, it is split damage, so 2 different sets of enemy defense are going to be applied to it. It's also kind of heavy, I guess. Hey! There we go. Hey, you. Get wrecked. Guys, I am Marcus, also known as EMB. This has been From the Dark. We got a very cool sword. Oh no. And I can't wait to use it more. Come on. Come on now. See ya. Let's do the thing. Nope, we cannot enchant this weapon, unfortunately. We can still do the thing, though.